right, guys, let's connect it up here. Should be rocking and rolling. Hopefully the stream is no problems. I think we should be good with the settings. Said that last time, and we should be rocking and rolling here for July 18th, 2021 live stream. Talk about the Walking Dead universe. Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, World Beyond, Rick movies. Comic-Con next week, different shows, different stuff you want to talk about. So I'm excited to talk about anything and everything here, related to certain topics. But ultimately, guys, thank you for being here. I truly appreciate it. Got to put that spoiler warning. It says it in the title, but, got to put it out there. Also, I want to show the books a little bit, my last 3 books, because if the past live streams have not been good quality, this is much better. I think we got better settings for everything. So hopefully we're rocking and rolling, and we have nice things here. And, this is a good lesson for a lot of people that, stuff goes through ups and downs, highs and lows, good times, bad times. And, when you have a computer and a hard drive, it dies on you. You got to rock and roll with something else. You got to roll somewhere else. And ultimately, I'm using an older laptop, had to play with the settings a little bit, download some different programs and software. And then we're, doing what we got to do. Learn the hard way sometimes, how we have to do things. And now we got the settings, and I think the live stream settings are much better than they actually were with my old laptop. So it worked out in its favor. It took some time, but that's a lesson. Put the time in, energy, effort, positive attitude. You can accomplish things, that's for sure. It's not always the case, and it's not always easy, but thank you guys for being here nonetheless. PT is part of a positive thinking channel, but not everything is going to be positive all the time. If you do something or something bad happens to you, it's tough to find the positivity in things. But ultimately, stuff works out, highs and lows. When stuff's good, there's going to be bad times. When stuff's bad, there's going to be good times. What I always like to think of as the curve goes up and down, like that, but it comes straight across is basically what you're going to have, try to reach. So thank you guys for being here. Negan1, Lindsay, Adab, Kami, Lynn, Pete, Wilson, Eddie Pizzle, Jackie, thank you for being here. So we got Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con, I should say. When you say Comic-Con, I think it's common knowledge that people think of San Diego Comic-Con. 2021 is coming next weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The 24th, next Saturday, will be the next big time for The Walking Dead. We're going to have panels for Fear the Walking Dead, World Beyond, and The Walking Dead, I believe in that order. I'll make a video this week, so just so you guys know, but it looks to be different time for the time zone. I know that, hey Tim, but ultimately the time zone is going to be specific standard time for if you see one time, but it's going to be, I think, 4, 5, and 6 Eastern Standard Time. So if you do the time zone conversions where you're at, if you're in Europe, if you're in Hawaii, or if you're all over the place, I don't know. So it's kind of tough to see where it is, but there should be. Gearworks asks, where can I watch Comic-Con on TV? I don't know if you can actually watch it on TV. I know you can watch it on YouTube. There's going to be there's going to probably be a San Diego Comic-Con channel. There probably is. There's probably going to be different links and different things coming up when different panels are around. I know that The Walking Dead is probably going to have their own stuff there. I can't remember last year what it was, how they had the different panels, but they're pre-recorded. They have Chris Hardwick hosting every panel. It's going to be the Zoom at home, edition. And it's going to be pre-recorded stuff, questions, how they have it, so they can just upload it and bing, bada, boom, it's going to be there. So I don't know if they're going to take questions on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram, if they're going to have those ahead of time and what they're going to do. But the big thing is that we're going to have The Walking Dead, or Talking Dead, is going to be in studio. I don't know if it's really going to be live. It's probably going to be filmed again on studio on August 15th. That's also the same day that you can watch at least the first episode. I'm guessing, and it's going to probably come out at Comic-Con, the first 2 episodes, because it's supposed to be back-to-back episodes. Acheron Part 1 and Part 2 is episode 1101 and 1102. So you'll be able to watch that on AMC Plus on the 15th as well. So August 15th and also the 22nd are huge days for The Walking Dead, but we're not in August yet. We're in July. July 24th, which is next Saturday, is going to be all 3 panels: Fear the Walking Dead, World Beyond, and then The Walking Dead. So it's going to be pretty cool stuff. We should finally get the main trailer for The Walking Dead Season 11 Part 1. We'll hopefully get smaller teaser trailers for Fear the Walking Dead Season 7 and also World Beyond Season 2. So we should hopefully get all that stuff coming up next Saturday. So I want to also put out a thing that I will be part of a Twitch stream next Sunday, the 25th. I have to contact the people still again to see if stuff's going to happen, but we're going to talk about season 6 in that Twitch stream. And it's going to be a thing where we're going to talk about our favorite episode, our favorite zombie kill, and something else. I forget what the 3 categories are, but there's going to be me and 2 other people plus a host. So it should be pretty cool. Once I find out more information, hopefully I'll get the link and stuff and I'll post it a couple different places. So that should be happening next Sunday. I signed up a while ago, over a month ago, for season 6 because they were doing every season so far, seasons 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to 10. And I set up for season 6 because that's my favorite season. I know it pretty well. I'm going to have to go back and watch season 6 because it sounds like they're going to be asking some questions about this season. So I want to have some refreshers. Like, I can't remember off the top of my head, like, what's my favorite zombie kill in season 6? I don't know. I have to go back and watch it. I know what my favorite episode is, so I'll have to tell them ahead of time because if someone picks that, again, there's going to be 2 other people on there with me, that I don't want them to choose the episode. But if you know the channel, you know what my favorite episode is of the entire series, let alone season 6. I'll have to get that early to tell them that my favorite episode is, and because I can talk about that episode pretty highly, pretty quickly, pretty intently without having to go back and watch it, even though I'm definitely going to watch that episode. So I'll watch season 6 probably this week, go back and watch all the seasons and see the different zombie kills and to see, some stuff that'll work out for it. So I'll keep you guys posted, but right now I have signed up for it. I got a confirmation email on Friday. I contacted the person, so they're probably off until Monday, so hopefully we'll have correspondence and I'll let you guys know too. So I also wanted to show you the books while I got you here. So the latest book of my series is Revenge. It's book 14 of the Fight For Us series. So it picks up the where the story left off in Reckoning. But Revenge is my latest book now, A Fight For Us. So right there and right there is that. But the one before that is Reckoning. And I'm showing you guys these because I don't know how good the streams were when I showed them last time. I don't even know what the last time I showed these books were. But so Fight For Us is going strong. It's doing actually really well. Reckoning is book 13. Revenge is book 14. And in the In 100 Days series, it's this is part 2. And there's going to be a 3rd book. And then after that, we'll see where that goes. But in 100 Days, as you can, if you haven't read the series, it goes day by day, not every day, but for what it is. And in 100 Days Part 2, I didn't put it on there, but I have it on the side as Part 2 for that series. So it's cool stuff. I'm excited to talk about it. And I'm working hard on book 15 of Fight For Us. I'm on chapter 8, I believe, 7 or 8. I'm finishing 7 into 8 or finishing 8 into 9. I can't remember where it is, but it's going to be 18 chapters again, most likely. So I'm more than a third done, of my preliminary writing. And a lot of people like the series. They're excited about it. And it's pretty cool to have people, enjoy it. And, as much as I like writing it, people like to write it or to read it, I should say, after I write it. People do like it in other Facebook groups. Like I go into different Facebook groups on, talk about The Walking Dead and converse with them, and people see that it's me from, YouTube, and they say they enjoy the book series. And it's always a good thing to see that when people enjoy it, because that's why I write about it too. And it's a good way to have an outlet, whether you write, draw, dance, sing, whatever it is, any kind of art, garden, whatever. You need escapes. And the zombie apocalypse story for me, A Fight For Us, is my escape for it. And I can only imagine what Robert Kirkman and any other writer have for comic books or stories, or major authors like Stephen King and everything, that you're like having these ideas in your mind and they come out on paper, whether it's, comic book covers or pictures and, different dialogue and text, or it's text and books. And it's just freeing that you go out, express yourself, and then go for it and share it. And not everybody likes it, and that's okay. I'm not here to please everybody, and I've learned to try to really not do that because that's definitely a thing for it too. So Wilson says, Q&A, have to say, Bri, the Origins episode was very poor considering it was on a subscription channel. So, great topic, Wilson. Thank you. I'll talk about that in a second. Gearworks says, what do you think happens with Gage's character this season? So that's a great question, Gearworks. I'm going to make a separate video on that in the upcoming weeks, but I'll talk about it here since you asked. I think he dies because what's the point of the character? He's clearly with the group in the subway station. I think he is one of the casualties because he's still around. He's kind of, I don't know, a weak character. A character that could die and not really hurt things. And we're going to lose characters. We lose characters every season, and I think Gage will get killed off by the zombie horde inside the subway station or train tracks. So Wilson's talking about Origins. So Wilson, did you not like it? Did you think it was something else? Were you disappointed? I actually made a video about that yesterday that I will post tomorrow, but I'll talk about it here because you guys are here. So Origins is a show on AMC Plus. It's 4 episodes, 3 more now. The first one was Daryl Dixon. I believe next Thursday or this upcoming Thursday is going to be Maggie Green turned into Maggie Ree. Then Negan Smith and then Carol Pelletier. So I know that it was a build-up. A lot of talk about it. And I think a lot of people are disappointed because they thought it was going to be new material of the characters that would have been really cool to see, but I don't know how they could have done that, plus shoot season 11, plus the pandemic, plus all that stuff, especially with older characters. So it's basically a review, recap, clip show with some dialogue of Norman Reedus talks about Daryl. But it's also good to see where he came from, previous seasons. They put stuff in chronological order, even with season 10C with Leah, so they kind of put it in order for stuff to follow. But it's nothing new. It's all material that we've seen previously, except for the sneak peek for season 11. I enjoyed it because it's cool to see where Daryl came from. My wife and I watched it yesterday, and it was definitely something to watch because it's Walking Dead. It gets us ready for season 11, and she loves Daryl. I love Daryl, so it was good to see. I love all the characters that are going to be are shown in Origins. I shouldn't say I love Negan, but I definitely like more Negan now than I do. But I do love Daryl, Carol, and Maggie, and I'll tolerate Negan a little bit better now too. So, sorry, Negan, when I saw a question. Q&A, are your books available on audiobooks? I have no time to read 80-hour work weeks. Sorry, Negan 1. The audiobooks are not there because I have not made them. I know that I would love to do that, but unfortunately it's just paperback and digital on Kindle. Audiobooks are a separate beast where you have to go through and read them into a different software, a different file. And I thought about putting more of them on YouTube, but I don't want to put every book on there on YouTube. I don't know. I definitely want to do it. And then it's very expensive to have a company come in and do it. So if it gets picked up somehow, some way, they'll eventually be on audiobooks. And I definitely want to put it on audiobooks because it's definitely a good format for people like Negan 1 that says he doesn't have time to read. And that's definitely a thing where if you had an audiobook, you could probably play it on the way to work, on the way home. And, my books, you can read them pretty quickly. They're not over-exaggerant with dialogue and adjectives and descriptions and everything, which is kind of a detriment to some people. Some people like that, some people don't. So you'd probably fly through the series in audiobook format very quickly based on the length of them. So I'll have to check it out, look into it more, but I just definitely think that it's just something that I don't have the wherewithal about it because I don't know how to do that, and I want to have it down the road for sure. And Negan 1's definitely not the first person I'm bringing up, but I definitely want to have it down the road. So it might just be a little time from that because Fight for Us is my baby. I'm not going to just give up on it. And, the continuation of the story is going to be there. The prequel story, the original story, maybe a spinoff afterwards, maybe a sequel. There's definitely thoughts for the story to continue on and on and on too. So let me see what you guys are talking about here. Eddie Pizzle says, I can't wait for The Last of Us on HBO. I hope that's done really well. I think it will be good, done very well. And I know some people aren't happy about Pedro Pascal being Joel. I think it's fine. I think he can pull it off. I think everybody being cast so far is fine in theory. Hopefully it works out. It makes sense. It's entertaining. It lives up to the hype of the video game because the first video game is awesome. The second video game is very good. It's not as good as the first game, is my opinion. It looks better. The mechanics and stuff are better, but just some of the story with Abby and it's just, I don't know. Just they went a weird way with it. And so we'll have to see what happens in the first series. I don't know, or first season of the Last of Us series. I don't know where it's going to end, where it's going to pick up, how they're going to go, because I doubt the whole first season is going to be enough of the entire video game. Maybe they change things because we all know that the show is the show and the game is the game and the comic is the comic, and they do have things to mix things up for TV and film, and there are differences too. So, but yeah, ultimately, guys, we're rocking and rolling still with videos for The Walking Dead. You know, we haven't missed a day of videos, whether it's, you know, Monday through Saturday with videos and Sunday live streams. I'm going to post my Origins recap, breakdown, kind of what it is, and discussion video of the Daryl Origins episode on Monday. And then we'll talk about a bunch of different things about, you know, I still want to branch out on the channel a little bit. We're always going to talk about The Walking Dead, but I do love the show Animal Kingdom. So if you guys have seen that on TNT, it came back last Sunday, and that's, you know, picked up I think it's 5th or 6th season. And, you know, it's good to see where it's going. There's been some movies that I watched that I want to talk about. There's a movie that I'm probably going to watch tonight that I want to talk about coming up. And I don't know. I haven't seen Space Jam yet, but I don't know if it's good or bad. I heard people talking about it at Sam's. Some of the employees were like, yeah, this and that. They didn't really like it too much. We'll just say that. So I thought, but I know there's at least one person from The Walking Dead that's in that movie. There may be two. I've heard different rumors. People have kind of, you know, shared it on Facebook about who's in it. So I don't know. I kind of enjoyed the first movie with Michael Jordan. I'm not the biggest LeBron James fan, that's for sure. So we'll have to see if it makes sense, if it's worth watching or not. But I have HBO Max, so I might as well watch it as it's on there too. So Lindsay says, I like Animal Kingdom, but I'm really behind. It might be my binge this week. So yeah, Lindsay, if you have Amazon Prime, you can watch all of Animal Kingdom on Amazon Prime. The first 5 seasons, not the latest season. That's on TNT. So if you have access to the TNT app, or TNT, of course, you can watch the latest season of that. And for those who don't know, Animal Kingdom is a show on TNT. It is adapted from an Australian movie called Animal Kingdom. It's a family that is dysfunctional, to say the least, that goes around and robs places and banks and things and boats and, you know, I guess not banks, but, you know, they do questionable, risky things. It's a heist family that has a lot of drama and a lot of intrigue of the different personalities of the guys playing them, and the ups and downs with a bunch of different topics that are awesome about the show. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool show. If you've never seen it and you like heist movies, shows, different things, like if you loved Heat, you'll probably love Animal Kingdom, because it's kind of a similar thing with the story of stuff, with just how they got it. You know, it's pretty cool. The movie Heat, if you've never seen that too. Cameron says, why don't you do supernatural videos? To be honest, Cameron, I've only watched the first episode of Supernatural, and that was it. It was on Netflix or Amazon or something, and we watched it, and we saw Jeffrey Dean Morgan and a couple things. So I haven't really got into it, and it's like 4 million episodes, so I haven't seen that. It's kind of like too much stuff to watch if it's too many episodes. But the other show I have actually started watching with my wife is Tommy Griffin Jr., what's up? It was on HBO or HBO Max. It's a DC show called Titans. And we watched the first 3 episodes. We're probably going to watch the 4th episode tonight. It's an awesome show. It's not your normal PG superhero movie. It follows the DC superheroes, mainly Robin. You have glimpses of Bruce Wayne so far, but you get to see different stuff going on with these different characters, and it's not your normal show. It's called Titans, and I definitely recommend it so far. If you liked Umbrella Academy on Netflix, which I watched that, you'll probably like Titans. So it's definitely a good time to watch that as well. So let me answer some of these questions here. Almond's channel, did you say that line yet? I just joined late. So no, I actually haven't said the Summer of Speculation Almond's channel, but it definitely is every summer actually is the summer of speculation. And I think even next summer will still be the summer of speculation because we'll still have the third and final part of The Walking Dead season 11 going into next summer, because that would most likely be August or October. I could see them doing October for it. So we'll have to see, but it's summer of speculation for sure. Mark Thomas says, Q&A, do you think Heath will come back on the show or the Rick movies? I personally think the Rick movies, Corey Hawkins really left the show to be the star of the 24 reboot. That didn't work. He's been in a bunch of different movies. And I wonder if Heath, Corey Hawkins, gets crap from the Walking Dead fan base because he left the show. He didn't want to be on the show anymore, from what I understand, is that he wasn't really having that big of a role on the show. He probably wasn't getting paid that much. But do I think that it's going to be a thing if he comes back or not? Doesn't really matter to me. He was traded to the CRM by Jadis per Angela Kang, I believe. In season 9, we found that out. So is he going to show up again? I think our best chances in the Rick movies. So we'll have to see how that comes around. Let me see a bunch of questions. So, no, yeah. I wouldn't say I'm not a fan of Supernatural. I just don't really think of that question. I just don't think about that show. It's kind of a little much. Rami Boy Review says, Q&A, have you talked about Andrew Lincoln filming in Canada? So, great question. I have not in this chat, but basically the word, the rumor, the speculation, the news, if you will, is that Andrew Lincoln was rumored to be filming a horror movie in Canada per @AndyLincolnNews on Twitter. Don't know the source, don't know the place, don't know who said it. Andrew Lincoln doesn't have social media, so we don't know if it's come from him. Supposedly it came from his family that Andrew Lincoln was in Canada filming a horror movie. So, is that a cover-up for The Walking Dead? Is it true? Is it fake? Is it misinformation? Is he going to film in Canada, film a movie, and then film the first Rick movie? I hope so. I have no problem with him filming other projects outside the Walking Dead universe. But I want him to return as Rick Grimes as soon as possible. I don't know when it's going to happen. Is it going to happen? Should have happened already. I think it should have happened already that they filmed the first movie. Pandemic, script, producers, directors, whoever's involved, Gimple, writing, it's just not worked out. So we're waiting and waiting and waiting. Still waiting. The latest news about Andrew Lincoln is that he's supposedly going to be going to Canada very soon to start filming some unknown horror movie. Don't know if it's true, cover, fake, don't know. But I shared the information, spread it around, and we'll have to see how it goes down. I just can't believe he would be coming to North America and not be coming to Georgia to film the Walking Dead movie. But my question is, do you think they'll film the first movie this year? I personally hope so and think so. I think it makes sense because ultimately, Rick Grimes coming back in the Walking Dead universe is something we want to see. But they could be really saving that until the Walking Dead movies are done, right? So if they wait, do they have the ability to draw people in again? Will it be too late? I'm going to watch it. Everybody probably in here is going to watch it. So Rick Grimes coming back in the Walking Dead universe is only a matter of time. There's definitely people asking the question, are they ever going to make them? Did they finish the script? Did they have the director, the producers? They should have the script done, right? I don't know how long it takes to write a movie script, but I would assume it should be done by now. I don't even know how long it's been. Like season 9, episode 5, Rick went away. We're coming up on season 11 next month, right? So that seems like, what is it, 2-3 years ago? Like it's a crazy amount of time. And with COVID, you probably had to scramble to write season 10C, season 11, Fear the Walking Dead season 6, changes, rewrites, stuff for season 7, World Beyond season 2. So you have to adapt. But I would assume that the people writing the World Beyond are different than the people writing Fear the Walking Dead, and different than writing The Walking Dead, and different than writing the Rick movies. So you should have different people writing them how it goes. So I don't know where it's at. I would assume that the scripts are done. I know a lot of people want Andrew Lincoln to return to The Walking Dead final season. I don't think it's going to happen. It doesn't make sense. You're going to have him in the Rick movies to keep the Walking Dead name alive, the show, series, universe alive, because it's definitely one of those things where AMC properties, AMC owns The Walking Dead. They want The Walking Dead to be around as long as possible to keep that cash cow as long as possible. So that's why season 11 is 3 parts. That's why we have Fear the Walking Dead, World Beyond, Tales of the Walking Dead, spin-offs, movies, merchandise, different things. It's a cash cow. That being said, let me just read some of these first if there's any questions. Zach Rice says, he's been away for us longer than he's been with us talking The Walking Dead years. How different of a person do you think he's going to be? I don't know. That's a great question, Zach. I mean, he's only going to be so different as the writers make him different. Does he have amnesia? Is he so wounded that he hasn't been able to leave? I don't know about the amnesia angle, but they could go that route, maybe some short-term amnesia. But ultimately, I think he's going to be, struggling to get around, find his way at the Civic Republic. What does he do? He's in this weird spot. I think it's going to be one of those things where I think Rick's going to fall back to being Rick Grimes, the one that we know and love and can't wait to see. I think it's going to be a matter of time. I don't want to see him as season 7 Rick, where he's kind of a, pacifist, has to be like, I don't know what to do, where he's kind of struggling to survive. And maybe that's how he starts off, but hopefully it's short-lived. Then Rick starts the revolution with some of the people at the world in the world beyond, the Rick movies, the people that are there, because everybody's caught up on the number that the Civic Republic has 200,000. Yeah, total across the United States. The Civic Republic is going to have more people than any other community we ever saw. But if they're in Portland, Oregon, Nebraska, Omaha, Pennsylvania, New York, different places across the country, maybe even world, that's definitely something that you can have brought up all over the place. And I don't think everybody is going to be buying into what the Civic Republic and military have. You saw the one soldier, what they did at the campus colony. Didn't agree with it. Elizabeth Kublik kind of cried, got upset. They didn't believe with it somewhat. Is Huck going to flip? The World Beyond people going to flip and be able to fight them? Felix, Will, all these different people. It could be pretty cool. It could be exciting, and I hope it is, and it should be too. So there was big recent news, allegedly, potentially, possibly, about the lawsuit with Frank Darabont, CAA, AMC, The Walking Dead. Frank Darabont has been in litigation with The Walking Dead and AMC for years now. Frank Darabont was the showrunner for season 1 and half of season 2. But we're coming up on season 11 now. So Frank Darabont has not been connected, included with The Walking Dead for like 9 seasons now, right? Like, it's crazy to think that he's been gone for so long. But he was vital to the early adaptation, success, portrayal, just everything involved with the first season of The Walking Dead and half of the second season, and then he was fired. But he was supposed to get part of the pie and part of this, and there was lawsuits with, he was alleging that AMC and The Walking Dead did something about profit thing, and they weren't paying him enough, and so there was litigation year after year after year after year. They went, and I believe the early word is that he was awarded $200 million plus future percentage of royalties or something. So I don't know how much he was asking for or wanting, but $200 million is pretty darn good. But imagine if you were the showrunner from season 1 to season 11 or season 1 to season 8 or for longer than he was. Would he have made far more money than $200 million? Probably. But ultimately he was fired. He still made out with this, and he's still going to make out, personal money here and there. So does that involve, I don't know if they're going to give him the money up front, if it's going to be, $2 million for 100 years or $20 million for 10 years or so. I don't know how they're going to break it up, if it's annuity or, a certain percentage of stuff too, because that will hinder a lot of things going forward with AMC, The Walking Dead, different shows, different adaptations, different things they can have. To have to pay $200 million that you weren't expecting to do goes a long way. Maybe it's short-sighted amount for AMC, and maybe they were supposed to pay a lot more. Maybe they got off so much money for it. But we'll have to see how it if affects any, if it does. I don't know, but that's the latest news about The Walking Dead 2. So, Ada B says, Q&A in the movies, do you think they will flip how Rick has always been, like a nemesis to the group? I don't want to see that, Ada B. Doesn't mean it won't happen. I think anything's open on the table. I think that's a common thing that people think, like, what if Madison comes back in season 7 and she's the villain and she fights Alicia, but they don't know they're fighting each other. And then it's mom versus daughter versus Strand versus this. That's a common thing that people think. Do you think Rick, unless he was brainwashed and has no idea who Daryl, Carol, Judith, Michonne, Morgan, he has no idea who these people are, he's going to fight them willingly? Maybe he's fighting the group like the Commonwealth and he doesn't know that our group is connected with them. I could see something like that possibly, potentially, but I don't know. I don't know if they're going to go that route. Will they go like the soap opera route that friends become enemies, become friends? Can you trust them? Can you not? Because Daryl is the guy. Carol, is the big part of the show. Michonne is, Rick's love interest. I don't know if you want to say wife or whatever, partner, because they never got married. But I don't know. It's just something that I don't know how they're going to do it, but I kind of would like to see that, if anything. If they're going to go that route, I want to see Rick fights the Commonwealth with the Civic Republic, not knowing that our group is there, and then he realizes who he's actually fighting. Because if he knew he was fighting our group, like if he sees Aaron or Father Gabriel or Ezekiel or somebody, and he's like, I'm still going to take them out. They didn't come save me. That would be whack. That would be cheesy. That would be cheese, and I think it would be something that it'd be good. And I don't want something like campy, cheesy, wacky, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. I like the idea, and I'm not harping on you, Ada B. I'm not saying you're stupid for bringing that up. How dare you bring that stupid question up? I don't want anybody to feel that way. If you have questions and ideas, I love the question. I'll give you my honest report, and I hope you don't take it, Ada B or anybody here, as like, wow, you're being hard on. No, I don't want to come across that way at all. Maybe it's my New Jersey style accent coming out. So, but I got to talk about the Reapers because that's on the thumbnail. We got to talk about the Reapers. Are they called the Reapers? Are they called the Wardens? Are they called somebody else? I'm going with they're the Reapers. They're going to have their own base camp, their own area. They're going to be a group that's there. It's going to be the villainous group for at least the first, probably part of the second part of The Walking Dead Season 11. They're going to be our antagonist because the Commonwealth is not our antagonist. They're there to help our group. They're there. Eugene, Yumiko, Stephanie, Mercer, everybody's there to help Alexandria to come back and help them. They're probably going to help take down the Reapers, which hopefully will eventually fight the Civic Republic. So I see the antagonists, the bad guys, the villains, being the Reapers and also being the Civic Republic. That's kind of going to be what it is, too. So the Reapers have a lot of people questioning who they are, who's Pope, who's Denver, who's this guy, who's this person. And I hope you saw my latest video on the Reapers with the guy's chain or necklace that it's got like a circle with a dagger or knife on it. And Diana Rainey, who there's definitely a subscriber and supporter of the YouTube channel here. I don't know if she's in here now, but she's friends with me on Facebook, and we talk about different things, and she sends me different ideas and theories and stuff, and I gave her props in the video, which definitely should because she came up with the idea. But a lot of people think the Reapers are ex-military, militia, tactical gear, weapons, body armor, just ghillie suits, just stuff to take people down, because that's who we saw in Season 10C or Season 10, Episode 17, with the guy coming after Maggie, took out a bunch of people with a sniper rifle, had a grenade or grenades, knife, ghillie suit, gear, tactics, just was well equipped to take people down. But he was alone. He was taking on Maggie to take out Maggie. And why was he supposed to do that? Because Pope mocked you. But the way he says it, he's like, Pope mocked you. He wasn't like, Pope marked you. Pope mocked you. So was he South Africa or South African? Is he from South Africa, or is he British, or is he from the, Caribbean? There's people with different accents all over the place. So my thing that Diana brought up, and I thought was really good to talk about, was, are some of the Reapers or Pope or somebody part of the South African Special Forces? And that's what that person has around their neck, on their necklace, with the ring and the knife or the dagger on it. It looks a lot like it, and it represents the South African Special Forces. So there's your militia, ex-military, military-trained stuff. But when you look at the Reapers, like if you look at the thumbnail that I shared, I don't think any of them have guns. They have bows, compound bows, crossbows, curved bows, this bows, that bows, whatever. Knives, blades, machetes. I don't think any of them has an actual firearm, which we kind of think they would based on the guy we saw in season 10, episode 17. But if that's all the Reapers, they don't have any firearms. But what if it's not all the Reapers? What if it's part Reapers, half the Reapers, a third of the Reapers? What if that's like the scouts of the Reapers? But they're a formidable group. They got at least 4 bodies strung up on trees. They got, looks like tactical gear, layers. Walkers probably aren't their problem. They can probably take out a bunch of walkers easily. People, they're designed to go after people. It always brings up the question, are people the problem? Walkers the problem? The environment? Food? Starvation? Hunger? Dehydration? Are those the true problems? The answer is probably yes to all of it. Everything. So the Reapers are, what I'm going with is in the thumbnail. There's been recent filming stuff going around that they have their own camp, that we're going to see something happen there with a bunch of walkers and things and smoke. And, it's pretty cool to see how it's going to go down. But the Reapers have a lot of people questioning, different stuff for it, which is good. You should. And I like the questions. I like the ideas. I like different topics, speculation, and that's good. It's good to do. And I'll stand by the stuff when stuff should be discussed and theorized and speculated on there too. It's just got to be designed to show that. You can't call speculation, theories, and stuff confirmed information in my eyes. That's not there. And, I don't really try to do that, and hopefully you guys see that too. So Negan 1 says, reap what you sow. For sure. That's probably part why they're called the Reapers too. Cameron says, do you think they're going to kill the Reapers, or will they join them to help them fight the Civic Republics? I think they get rid of the Reapers. I think the people that help fight the Civic Republic are the Commonwealth. I think the Reapers are just part to come after Maggie. So Maggie brought the Reapers, brought the next antagonist, which is going to bode poorly for a lot of people because we're going to lose people this season. It's the final season. We lose characters every season. It's just the way it is. It's called The Walking Dead. So, people are going to die on the show. The characters are going to be killed off. So, it's definitely something that I think we're going to lose Frost and Duncan, probably Gage. Every season so far, like season 7, 8, 9, 10, a bunch of different seasons, I picked Father Gabriel, still around, still strong. They love Seth on the show, or in the cast, so I think he's going to stick around. But the wild cards are Aaron, Negan, Rosita. Daryl, Carol are going to be safe. Maggie's going to be safe. Is Herschel going to take out Negan? Eugene's going to be safe. Yumiko is mostly going to be safe. Does Ezekiel die? What's going to happen with a lot of the cast? We have a lot of cast left still. A lot of Maggie's groups probably going to be killed off. Dog will survive. Dog should be fine. So... Jeannie says, someone in the comments is speculating that Reapers are tied to CRM. What do you think? Well, that's cool. I like that. But I think the Civic Republic is all about hiding. I think they're all about, and the Reapers could be that. Maybe the Reapers were supposed to hide and do stuff for them. And then Elijah did something. I don't know. It's just, I like the idea and I could see them doing that. But again, it kind of turns into, I was going to say, it kind of turns into more of the spy angle. But I do like the idea of them being connected with that. And I do think the Civic Republic needs to be connected more and more. In every parts 1, 2, and 3, the Civic Republic needs to be, connected more and more and more. And then going into the final season, there needs to be some major connections with the Civic Republic, maybe the World Beyond, the Rick movies, setting stuff up, Fear the Walking Dead. I just think there's got to be some major connections there too. So, but I like that. I like that idea. BJ Logan 007, who do you think will die in the Reaper arc? I see them as a strategic group of wolves. I think like Frost and Duncan Gage will be like part of Maggie's people will die. And then after that, I just don't know. I just don't know what's going to be clue on there too. Tiny Rick says, why wouldn't you like Seth? I like Seth. There's nothing to not like about Seth. I'm talking about Seth Gilliam, Father Gabriel. But I just thought he would have died in season 10 was kind of my pick based on him trying to save Judith. But then Elijah saved Father Gabriel, so they're keeping him around. And I do like Seth. There's not a question like that. Don't know why you asked that. If I came across that way, I apologize. But I do like Seth and, see where it goes. I like Father Gabriel too. It's just definitely a thing. But I do think that the Father Gabriel Aaron situation that we saw in season 10C could come back around with the Dwight-style comic death with Father Gabriel. Aaron takes out Father Gabriel because Father Gabriel wants to take over the Commonwealth. And boom, gets taken out, just like the Whitey boy. So in the comic at least. Rob K says, anyone watch Daryl Origins yet? The Daryl Dixon Origins that came out on Thursday. So every Thursday on AMC Plus, the origin of a character is there. Daryl was this Thursday. Next week, I believe, is Maggie, then Negan, and then followed by Carol. I talked about it earlier. I guess some people weren't here. I'll talk about it in a video that I'll post tomorrow about the origins. But it's basically a clip show, review, recap of everything we saw so far. There's not like young Daryl before the apocalypse walking around. They just couldn't feasibly film that because of the apocalypse, because of the pandemic, because of season 11, all the different other projects. Maybe we see something like that in Tales of the Walking Dead. What I think would be pretty cool, maybe an animation style. But if you're looking for that, it's not in there. Even though there is new stuff for season 11 that you see Daryl with dog in that in the sneak peek for season 11. But again, I'll share that on Monday. My review breakdown of that stuff too. So Cameron asks another question: do you think Rick will end up dying? I think Rick dies in the third movie. If we get the third movie, I think Rick dies in the movies. Yes. It's kind of like the start to finish of the character. If it's the end of the story, if it's the end of things, what's the end? This is The Walking Dead. I don't think everybody's going to get a happy ending with the story where everybody survives in a farmhouse with an orchard and they're self-sustainable. Everything is good. Nah, there's going to be major losses, major things, major characters lost. The big question is what's going to happen with Judith, RJ, Gracie, Coco, Jerry's kids, a bunch of different things, right? Are they the future of The Walking Dead? I could see that. Like, I think Jeannie actually wrote it in one of my video comments. The Walking Dead, the next generation. That'd be kind of cool, right? So I thought about like The Walking Dead, kids of The Walking Dead. But it's like the next generation of The Walking Dead, The Walking Dead next generation. Would we want to see that? Would we want to see that down the road? If we do, if that's going to be a chance, an option down the road, walkers still need to be a problem because in the comic, walkers are really gone away with. There has been many years since a walker's been around. Carl has a family with Sophia. Carl and Sophia aren't on the show. So what's going to happen there? Is it Judith and Herschel? Is it RJ and Gracie? Is it something like that? Stuff can happen. I don't know. It'd be pretty cool to see. I think if you have Judith, RJ, Gracie, Jerry's kids, Coco, that's a lot of people. That's more than 5 for the show that you could watch and carry on. They could bring up antagonists. They can make other problems. They can make things happen. They could rebuild Hilltop. Because I don't think they would have filmed in Alexandria. Because if they filmed in Alexandria, you got to keep the windmill up. And as of lately, the windmill is still up in July. So there was talk that June was going to be it. so they must have extended it. But I would assume the windmill comes down next year when they're done filming in March, if not before that. Because when it starts to come down, they're probably done with filming outside Alexandria because the windmill is a staple there. It's pretty important, which the word is that they'll be done next March filming. So I would assume they have to be at Hilltop. Part of that could be rebuilding Hilltop in season 11, and that's at the studio on their lot, so they can film there. They don't have to be, out and about filming. And you could do that because The Walking Dead owns the studio there, or they have their own studio. So it's pretty interesting too. So Jim Kenpig at the PT channel. If they had a time jump, a big one, and it was Judith ending the show, who would you see playing an older Judith? Charlize Theron. No. I like actually what Jeannie said here. Laurie actress should play older Judith. What if it was Sarah Wayne Callies who played Laurie on the show? I think Sarah Wayne Callies and Kaylee Presley Fleming look similar. They have a similar look. That would confuse people. If it was, though, they'd be like, Laurie? But if Judith is starting to look like Laurie, how, I guess, I don't know. I don't know the word, but would it be cool or bad if Sarah Wayne Callies came back to play an older Judith? It could work. Or would Kaylee Fleming be old enough to look older for it? Because they do love to have the same actors and actresses play the different characters. They don't really recast anybody on the show. They either kill them off or they keep the actors, is what they really do in The Walking Dead, which is kind of cool. Tiny Rick says, do you think Jerry will survive to the end? It will probably be Jerry or Ezekiel. I think Jerry survives. If Ezekiel has like cancer or anything, maybe he has a diagnosis where he's going to die anyway and he goes out saving people. I think that's what would happen. And Jerry and Ezekiel need to be reunited in at latest the second part of The Walking Dead season 11. Hopefully the first part, more likely the second part in my opinion, but Jerry and Ezekiel need to survive. Corey Payton's still been in Georgia around the cast, been around there too, so I think he makes it to at least the second part of season 11. So I think Jerry will actually, either they both live or Jerry outlives Ezekiel, in my opinion. Like, how cool would it be if you had The Walking Dead: The Next Generation with Jerry in a couple episodes, or so-and-so in a couple episodes, like Old Man Daryl or Carol. Because Daryl and Carol, I think, make so much money of The Walking Dead that you could throw them in a couple different episodes and it would be, good for everybody. So I think it would be pretty cool to see. I don't know if it will or not. I don't know what the plan is for The Walking Dead. This major, lawsuit payout to Frank Darabont. Maybe they try to recover that money. Maybe they don't. Because they do have to pay Frank Darabont for future things. Because he's still part connected with the start of the series. So I think he's connected with stuff. So, I don't know. Like, is he going to get paid on the Rick movies? Does he get paid part of Fear the Walking Dead World Beyond? He doesn't really have any part of that. That was start after that. But it all comes back to the Walking Dead universe. So does he get a piece of that? Maybe it's a small piece, maybe not. I don't know how it's broken down. But what about Tales of the Walking Dead? What about the Carol and Daryl spinoff? Maybe they want to cut their losses and be done with all that. Because people do stuff out of spite all the time. So, I don't know how it works with the stuff there. But we'll see. We'll see down the road. But I know that AMC, The Walking Dead, they care about money. Budgets, making money. Everybody cares about making money. It's just part of it. And when you invest millions and millions and millions of dollars every year, every season of different shows, different things, they want to recover that money for sure. Let me see. BJ Logan, 007, Q&A, but not. I want them to throw a little bit of Shane into Judith's character. We know she's raised by, but want to see her get a little bit of Shane rage. but in a way that we can be shown in a little kid's eyes. So great topic. I definitely want to talk about that. And I will talk about that over the next 10 minutes. Rob Rishel, anytime you can bring back an OG cast member, that'd be great for sure, especially if there's like a spinoff there too. Liz Rue, PT, how do you think Maggie will forgive Negan if she ever does? I think she's not going to forgive him. I think she's going to have to accept it that Negan's part of the group. I think Negan's going to save Herschel and or Maggie or both of them with the Reapers. And I think he's going to do something that saves their lives, and she's going to have to accept that without Negan's help, she would have died. And I think she's got to get over it. But let's talk about Shane and Judith, and I think that's a great topic. Thank you, BJ Logan, for bringing that up. I have a whole separate video talking about that, but I do think that Shane is the biological father of Judith. And my psychology background, we talk about nature versus nurture. So nature is your genetics, your genetic code of both your parents. Your mom, your dad, your grandparents, everybody you're connected with genetically. It's your nature. It's your primal predisposition, basically, if you will. Nurture is how you're raised in a home, education, school, friends, family. What actually wins? Nature versus nurture. A lot of people say nature wins because you're ultimately going to revert back to your genetic code. There's extenuating circumstances, of course. But, so if you think about it, Judith is what, 10, 12 years old? She's still a developing person. She has a long way to go. You still develop and you process and learn things throughout your entire lifespan. Whether you're 5, 10, 15, 50, 60, 100 years old. You're still learning, you're still adapting, you're still going. Maybe at not a rate when you're 8 versus 80, but you're still going through stuff, right? It's a part of life. But Shane and Lori we know Lori is the mother of Judith, but we're going with Shane as the father. Some people think it's Rick, but I think Rick in 704, go back and watch season 7, episode 4, and see what Rick says about Shane and Lori and Judith. And, so we're going with Shane as the father. Rick is the father. Michonne is the mother that raised Judith, right? Rick went away in season 9, episode 5 before the 6-year time jump. So if Judith we'll go with 12 years old, right? If she was 6 when Rick went away, she had 6 years of development and being raised by Rick and Carl and, Carol and Maggie and all the people that were around there. It takes a village to raise a child is what they say, right? So Michonne helped raise Judith for a lot of those years. And then even when Rick went away, she was Michonne's mom. Even though Lori is the mom, but Lori was killed during childbirth, so Judith never met Lori. So Michonne basically was the mom that she knew. Along with Carol and, all the people in Alexandria. Barbara has had big, parts of raising Judith. But Judith doesn't have Michonne. Michonne went away. Rick went away. Who's there raising Judith? Aaron, Barbara, a bunch of people. But their point is that they have to take care of Alexandria, rebuild Hilltop, fight the Reapers, find food, get stuff going with everybody around there too, right? So who's going to be raising Judith? Judith is going to raise herself, along with Aaron and Barbara and everybody there too. But kids are mischievous and they get into things, and Judith can really take care of herself. So if you think about it, Michonne, went away. Judith had to help defend Hilltop. She ends up killing a whisperer, a person. She didn't know it was a walker and she's freaked out by it, but that's going to probably change you. Mom's not there. Dad's not there. They're your parents. When other people help raise you, they're there, but they're not really your parents. And they're not your parents, but you if you're a good kid, like I think Judith is, I just think there's a big thing that can happen there. I think something happens with Judith at the Commonwealth. I don't think she's going to kill any member of our group, but she could kill someone at the Commonwealth. When that picture of Gracie with the wooden sword and Judith with the eyebrow, she's looking at something in the distance. And that's definitely a Shane eyebrow look. So is it a subtle hint to Shane and there's nothing more to it? Or is it a glimpse that will happen with her? Will she go to the dark side, if you will? It's like, Judith, I am your father. Like, is she going to go the way of Shane? The dark side. And now it's just being comical and being silly, but I think there's something to that. And I think Angela Kang, who is a mom, sees Judith as a big character going forward, and I think they could go into that. Because The Walking Dead is a zombie show, but it's a soap opera. It's got the drama of things with people and characters and trying to survive, but trying to do all these different things too. So they throw a wrench in there with it. I think it's pretty cool too. So Rob K says, what if Judith tries to kill RJ? Well, that'd be terrible. I don't think The Walking Dead wants to make Judith like the villain, because Judith is very likable. Some people don't like her, but I love Judith. I think Judith is great. I think Judith is great for the show. I think she's a great step for the future of the series. She was born in the zombie apocalypse. She's connected with Rick and Michonne and all these major characters. She was, Daryl. She's got the best of both worlds. She's got the genetics to get stuff done. She has the, intelligence and the training from Michonne, Rick, Daryl, Carol. She's a survivor. She's very important. But it's got to be crazy to think. They have to be careful what they want to do with it, how they're going to do with it. Are they going to push the envelope a little bit? It's the final season. Who cares? They're just gonna do it. But if they push it too much, the SEC, whatever's gonna get in trouble with this, and with the whole thing with Negan and the brutality of the lineup. But then they're like, the show's over. Who cares? But then they have to be careful with setting things up and towing the line. So we'll have to see. And if you saw the Daryl's origin story, they show you the Lori giving birth to Judith at the prison, and it's a clip show. It's a review that it's pretty cool, and it's only an hour long, so you watch all these different things, and it's kind of cool to see where it came from. Daryl, the camp, the quarry, the stuff, the roof, Merle's hand, the farm, Daryl going after Sophia, getting shot by Andrew. You get to see all these different clips, and it's pretty cool. I enjoyed it. And hopefully you'll enjoy it too. And you just have to be aware of what it actually is. It's not like new stuff for it too. So, Jeannie says, we ain't got to worry until Judith starts rubbing her head. And yeah, I think there's got to be there at least was on YouTube where they have all the times Shane rubs his head. And it's at least 10, like maybe 15 times that he rubs his head. It's kind of the telltale sign where I guess John Bernthal wanted to do something and have his tick, because he shaves his head. And if you ever had like a buzz cut like that, or had a friend or a kid or someone had a buzz cut, you can't help but like rub your head or rub their head. It's just something about it. I don't know. It's just weird. So ultimately, guys, thank you guys for being here. I truly appreciate it, for the great questions. I'll keep you guys posted about next Sunday's Twitch stream thing. I'll share the link and have you guys there. But I think it's 3:30 to 6:30 Pacific time. So I'm East Coast time. So it's 3:30 is 6:30. So it's 6:30 to 9:30 on the East Coast time for me. So I think it's 3 hours long, and it should be fun. It should be a lot of fun with it. But I'll share that, guys, with you once I know more about it. And I'll be back next Sunday. I'll do a live stream anyway. So it's going to be a busy weekend next weekend, because we got all 3 panels on Saturday. We got Fear the Walking Dead, World Beyond, and then Walking Dead on YouTube at San Diego Comic-Con. That's Saturday. And then I probably got to decipher some of the stuff and make some videos for Sunday. Then my live stream, then the Twitch stream. It's going to be a crazy weekend, Walking Dead wise, but it's good. I'm excited about it because we're getting closer and closer and closer for it, because Walking Dead will be here before you know it. I'm excited for August 15th for the early release of The Walking Dead on AMC Plus. So hopefully I'll be able to watch it on the 15th and or the 16th, but definitely plan to watch it before the 22nd. So I'll be able to talk about it that week. We'll also do the live stream, have many more videos about talking that in August. Then, just where we're at with different stuff for the fall, World Beyond, Fear the Walking Dead Season 7, hopefully Rick News. So Comic-Con should be huge with information. Hopefully Chris Hardwick and people ask about the movies and stuff about it. And I just feel like Gimple's going to be like, yeah, well, we're working on it. Don't worry, we're working on it. So next Sunday, it'll be after the Saturday for the live stream, or the next Sunday's live stream. We'll be talking about Comic-Con on Saturday, plus all this other stuff. So I'm super excited for it, guys. Thank you, guys. Hit that like button. Like, share, subscribe, comment, tell your friends, tell your family. Help support the channel any way that you can. Donating is also a great way to do it, but I understand if you can't because times are tough for everybody. They're tough for me too. But I'll be back next Sunday, talk about The Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, World Beyond, Comic-Con, all that stuff on Saturday, and hopefully catch me on Twitch. Thank you, guys. But remember, with hard work, dedication, belief, and sacrifice, you can truly achieve your goals. Believe in yourself. You can do it. Stay positive. Stay working hard. Do everything. I'll see you next Sunday. See you guys, and see ya.